What's up, everybody? It's Miguel, aka the Vegan Math Guy, and I wanted to review some exponential functions today. It's Friday, it's late at night, and I was thinking of these problems that a lot of my students were going over this week, and man, they were struggling with this, particularly two specific ones. We have this function. The one, if you notice, has the y-intercept that's given to us at 0, 2. And then we're going to go over this next problem. Let me just erase this. This is a gnarly one. Notice that this one doesn't have a y-intercept. And I think that's the most common, I guess, the most difficult problem that a lot of people have. So let's just go over that real quick. All right, so when we're solving these exponential functions, or we're trying to find the equations for the exponential functions, they obviously give us these 2 points for a reason, because we're going to have to plug in the x and the y coordinate for each value. So let's go ahead and start off with the 0, 2. That means that when x equals 0, y is going to equal to 2. And I'm going to plug that in there. All right, if you notice that b to the power of 0, that's always equal to 1. So we have 2 equals a. This is great because now we have the equation y equals 2 times b to the power of x. And all we need to do is find the value of b now. That's when we're going to go ahead and plug in the other coordinate, 4, 3. So when x equals 4, y is equal to 3. Let's go ahead and plug that in. We have 3 equals 2 times b to the power of 4. All right, let's go ahead and simplify that. I get 3 is equal to 2 times b to the power of 4. It's kind of ugly, to be honest, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and divide the 2 to the other side. It's going to give me 3 halves equals b to the 4th. And now I need to isolate the b variable. So I'm going to take this ugly looking 4th root of 4. And that is the b value. All right, and so now our equation is y equals 2 times, honestly, I'm just going to leave it like this. You can, simplify it if you like. Other ways that we can rewrite this is 2 times 3 over 2 to the power of 1/4 x. Still a little ugly, but ultimately either one is going to be our answer. Honestly, it's going to be up to your teacher. A lot of them get really picky on how they want their answer, but honestly, it doesn't matter. I feel like the steps are correct. And now you ask your teacher, hey, how do you want me to give the answer? And then just play by their game. All right. And then the last problem, look at this. We don't have a y-intercept. This is where things get really interesting. And immediately when I see this, I know that I'm going to have to put my systems of equations hat on. I'm going to have to do some more cleverness work, and I'm just going to do a deep dive into it. In this case, doesn't matter which point we're going to plug in first. I'm just going to go with the 1, 5. So y is equal to 5, x is equal to 1. I have no idea why I said that in that order. X is equal to 1, y is equal to 5. 5 equals a times b to the power of 1. Check this out. Even if I try to simplify this, I get 5 equals a times b. Gives me nothing. Okay, but you know what? I'm just going to leave that equation there. I'm going to kind of label that. Let's label it equation A so we can kind of keep track of it. Okay, the next coordinate. It's going to be 5, 2. So when x equals 5, y equals 2. Let's go ahead and plug that in. So I'm going to have 2 equals a times b to the power of 5. Check how gnarly that's going to look. It's just 2 equals a times b to the power of 5. Honestly, I took this from a calculus textbook because this particular student was covering that. So obviously, they're trying to make this a little difficult on us. But again, I have two equations. I have equation A, equation B. Now notice 2 equations involving A and B, so I know I have to maybe do some systems with that. So I'm going to go ahead and play with equation A, and I'm going to isolate one of the variables. Let's go ahead and divide both sides by b. I think that might be nice. Honestly, you could have isolated the variable b if you wanted to. Doesn't matter because we're still going to do the same step. See, if you notice, I even made that mistake. All right, so I have a equals 5 over b. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and substitute that value for the a in equation 2. And let's look at how that's going to look. I have 2 equals 5 over b times b to the power of 5. And honestly, this is where you have to remember your rules of exponents. Because check this out. I'm going to simplify this or multiply things out. And I have a b to the 5th on top and I have a b on the bottom. So I have to remember the exponents or the rules of exponents that if they have the same base, I need to subtract those two exponents. So there's a 5 on top, there's a 1 on the bottom. So 5 minus 1 is going to equal to 4. And now I have 2 equals 5 b to the 4th. Ugh. As I try to solve for b, I'm going to have 2 over 5 equals b to the 4th. Let me just kind of move up here. I noticed that I was going to do those problems. Do those in a second. Okay. So I have, just put it 2 over 5 equals b to the 4th. And now I'm going to go ahead and take the 4th root of that. Okay. But this is great. Could check that out. I have the value of b. So now I'm going to go back to my equation A. If you remember that, it's that value over here. I'm just going to put it up on the over here. So 5 equals a times b. So then what I could do is I can go ahead and plug in the value of b in order to solve the value of a. So I have 5 equals, let's make this in black, 5 equals a times 4th root 2 to the 5th. Again, so nasty, okay? Honestly, I can already see that I can, rearrange some things. And this is going to become 2 to the 1/4 over 5 to the 1/4. I just turn that radical into an exponent. And then I'm going to multiply both sides by 5 to the 1/4. And again, this is where we have to know our rules of exponents. And I'm going to get 5 to the 5/4 equals a times 2 to the 1/4. Last step is to divide both sides by 2 to the 1/4. And again, I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm not even going to worry about simplifying stuff. Ask your teacher about those things. If you have a problem like this, honestly, sometimes they're going to tell you, you know what, it's okay if you leave your answer like this. If you have a picky teacher, tough. But always ask, okay? Because a lot of the times they don't know about these things. They're not going to be familiar or they're going to know that you're struggling with this. So unless you ask them, they're never going to know. So check that out. I have my a value, I'll circle there in red, and my b value up on top. And now my equation is y equals 5 to the 5/4 over 2 to the 1/4 times 4th root 2 to the 5th to the power of x. Again, super ugly and nasty, but that's exactly what calculus is about. They're just testing all your skills at this point. All right. And now it's up to you. You tell me. I'm going to leave that equation there for you. I'm going to leave those two functions. And let me know in the comments, what would the answer be? All right. Or did I make a mistake that, would you have solved this differently? Let me know. All right. Cool. I'll see you later.